A boy's teddy bear and the rest of their plushy friends have adventures in the woods involving bees, heffalumps, and tigers.
Welcome to the Walt Vault with Andre,
Michelle,
Emily,
And Luis.
We are a family-friendly podcast where each and every week we watch and review a different Disney movie. Be sure to subscribe on all podcast platforms and YouTube. Enjoy the show.
Hello and welcome to the Walt Vault, episode 165.
it keeps getting longer. That's her phone.
Oh, your
Michelle
microphone.
can't find our microphone, y'all.
I found it. Hello, it's me.
I found it, she says.
Yeah, you pointed at my phone. I was like, it's not my
I thought
microphone.
that's what you lost.
Hello.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another fun-filled Walt Vault episode. What's going on, you guys?
Y'all chose our 70s movie.
That's right.
For
We had a
this
vote.
week?
What were the options?
It wasn't in the 70s, was it?
Yes.
Yeah, 70s.
Definitely was.
Sound of Music?
No.
Dude,
This
sorry, I'm still in the Sound of Music episode.
You like
Sorry,
that
guys.
movie,
I'm still in the Sound of Music episode.
So we had Pete's Dragon, the original. We had
Old Pete's
the
Dragon.
original Muppet movie.
Old Muppets.
And then we had this loveliness,
There were votes.
Was it The Many Adventures of Winnie
Yes.
the Pooh?
Correct.
And there
This-
were votes for each movie.
Yeah. So we'll revisit those other ones. I'm trying to think of how many of our voted episodes we've gone back and done the ones that didn't
Almost
win.
every single one.
Yeah, we've done a lot of them. So this week we are watching the 1977 animated Disney film, The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh.
The original Winnie the Pooh. This is what I grew up on. It's the bee's knees.
And there's bees knees in it.
There are bees' knees in this movie.
Yeah, why do we say bee's knees? Bees don't got no knees. Do they? Maybe they do.
Hey, that's what $1 million question. Do they really
That's
have
the
these
$1
or
million
not?
question, I
Bees
guess.
have knees.
guess I
Y'all
better Google
know
this.
I'm about to
Assuming.
Google it. And in next week's episode, I do a lot of Googling also.
Oh, timey-wimey stuff.
Juggle
Timey-wimey
it.
stuff.
Me whining.
Juggle it.
Do bees
But
have-
Luis has a warm-up question for us before we get into this.
That's true. What's the intro for the warm-up segment?
All
Louis has a
right,
question.
peeps. So,
Thank you.
okay,
They have me.
how should I say it?
Oh, snap, Luis, look at that score on the TV.
Okay, so
Sorry.
you're on a 6-hour car drive.
Okay.
Okay. In a small little 5-seater Honda.
Okay.
Okay. Really, let's admit it, you could only really take 3 other people if you're the driver. Okay. What Disney characters riding shotgun and which Disney characters are in the back?
Wow. 6-hour drive. With 3 Disney characters.
Definitely not Olaf. He would melt if
One
Andre puts a heater
that
on.
rides shotgun, and 2 in the back.
Any Disney characters.
That's a good question.
I got it.
Okay.
Here you go.
Hit it.
It'd be Ariel riding shotgun.
All right.
Human Ariel.
Okay.
Her daughter Melody and Sebastian in the back.
my
We
God.
chilling.
Chillin'.
Not to mention
Since
their
Sebastian
fish,
is
and they'll
small-
probably be done in no time.
Sebastian in the
Yeah,
back.
I'll ask them all the mom questions. That's it. That's what I'm doing.
Okay, you did it.
That was a very Michelle answer.
Yeah.
Holy moly. Okay. Here we go. I'm gonna put Genie shotgun. All right. We hanging out. He's controlling the music, or just making it all. I don't know what he's gonna do.
Will Smith Genie or Robin Williams Genie?
Will Smith. Sorry.
It wasn't your thing.
Well, I'm answering for him.
I gotta go, Robin Williams. I'm sorry.
No, don't be sorry. That's what I wanted to hear.
He's animated. He's doing Jack Nicholson impressions. Let's see. And then who are these homies in the back? Let's get somebody wild in there. Let's get somebody like Rafiki. I want Rafiki to be in the back. Okay?
What?
He's back there serving up wisdom.
I just cussed so bad I had to pull it away from
He's
my
smacking
mouth.
Genie with a stick when he's
All right,
getting
sounds
annoyed.
hectic.
Squashed banana. Okay?
and then let's see, one more. Who else am I putting in this car? For 6 hours.
You obviously hate your life.
Yeah, that sounds awful already.
I mean, it'll be
I was
fine.
down for Genie, and then you put Rafiki in there.
Rafiki's gonna be fine. Rafiki's gonna be cool.
He's gonna be the worst part.
I'm asking Rafiki a bunch of questions.
He's gonna poop in your back seat.
Timon and Pumbaa
He's back
got
there.
both of them.
He brought a
in the gas.
he brought a hookah with him and stuff. He's doing all kinds of stuff. Yeah, he's
Rafiki with a hookah.
yeah.
I've never seen him with a hookah.
That makes
yeah.
sense though.
He's hooking it up. And let's see, who
Oh,
else?
put Absalom with them. He's on a hookah.
Absalom,
caterpillar.
The caterpillar.
the caterpillar.
From Alice.
Oh, from Alice.
The Alan Rickman.
He's a party pooper.
No, I think
He is totally a party pooper. He would hate the Genie so much.
I want someone who can. I want a magical person back there.
Merlin?
Maybe Miss Bibbidi Bobbidi Boop. What's her name? The fairy godmother.
Godmother?
Yeah, I'll put the fairy godmother back there with Rafiki. And let's just see what happens, you know? We're driving, I'm like, hey, shut up back there! That's my car.
I couldn't take 6 hours of that. You're
Fairy
brave.
godmother, Rafiki, and Genie.
Worst car ever.
It's gonna be
That's
fun.
a no for me.
It's gonna be wild.
What about you, Lou?
Okay, so y'all are gonna laugh, but I want Baymax
Okay.
in the front.
All right. This is like cramped Honda.
Yeah, I want
In a smart car.
I want the butler from the Aristocats in the back.
Oh, that fool.
You know, he seems like
What's
a
his
dude who's
name?
gonna crack me up for any little thing that's like annoying him.
Okay.
You know.
Okay.
And then I would also have.
I mean, Baymax makes sense if you get in a car crash.
Edgar Balthazar is his name. Edgar.
What's that little rat's name from the Muppets?
Rizzo?
He always has snacks.
Oh.
So I would have Rizzo in the back.
See, okay, the main reason I wanted a magical person was so that they could conjure stuff for me along the ride. Like, we don't got to stop at the bathroom because Genie and Fairy Godmother, they're gonna hook up some kind of toilet diaper
Oh,
situation.
dude, Rafiki's gonna be pooping in your car.
You know, yeah, and they're gonna be vanishing it away. Beepity boppity boop.
That's my picks.
She
Very
like
good.
alakazoo, gaboo.
Get rid of your poop. Can't believe I just said that.
Okay, Emily.
I'm thinking I'd have Maribel up front with me.
Okay.
My girl from Encanto because
Just
she's
singing?
smart and we could have some conversations. And then in the back seat we have Philoctetes
Okay.
from Hercules because he's pretty funny, but he's also sassy.
He is
Yeah,
funny.
he's not
I think
gonna
that might be
comfortable in
funny.
that car.
And then I'm thinking, who else?
He's gonna be hitting on Maribel too. I don't know. Philoctetes, he likes the ladies.
Oh no, that's
You
right.
You already chose him. This is too late.
Oh no.
He's in the car. He's strapped in. Who
His little
else?
goat legs. At least he won't be kicking the back of my chair. Unlike my 4-year-old. Let's see. And then maybe. Oh no, I'm thinking of all the kid characters, and that's just a no. Maybe. You know who? Helen Carr. Is that her name? Helen Parr.
Parr. Oh, Elastigirl.
I'm gonna put Helen Parr because
Whoa.
she would smack Phil down.
Oh, Phil is definitely gonna hit on Helen Parr. But you're right.
He's
he's
gonna
gonna
hit
get
on her all he
punted
wants
out of the car.
because she's gonna tell him to shut the lip.
She's gonna
Yeah, that's dope.
grab him by the scruff of his neck, just stretch her arm out the window, and put him in the trunk.
Yeah, right? But I also feel like she could speed the car up. This we should put Dash in the car. Stick him out the window. Yeah, I like
Okay,
that.
these are some wild rides that we're going on for 6
Mine's
hours.
not that wild, okay?
It's a
Andre,
long
yours
drive.
is the worst.
You got a bunch of fish in your car. You
No, it's a crab.
Take a stop off
There's
at the
a
ocean.
crab in my car, and they're in their human forms right now.
You got 2 fishes and a crab.
Sebastian is in a human form?
No,
Oh.
He's a crab.
he's a crab, but the others are in their human form.
back there chilling.
Melody and Ariel.
Crabbing around.
He has
Okay.
his hands out on the couch. He looks like a crab.
Listeners.
I could have chose Prince Eric, but nah, there's something about Sebastian. He's so funny. I'll ask for all the parenting advice. He'll be like, in my day, once these teenage daughters, crazy. That's what he said.
Oh, no.
All right, listeners, please let us know what 3 Disney characters you want to put in your car on our social media. We're at the Walt Vault Pod. Hit us up there. Let's get back to Winnie the Pooh. Let's give some...
Dude, when we watched Winnie the Pooh with Addie and Ollie when we were babysitting them, and I was singing all the songs. And you know the one where he is doing his stretches, Winnie the Pooh, like up, down, turn around. Addie was like, I'm gonna do it, and she was stretching. She put me in the mood. I was like, that's a jam.
In the mood
For food. Yeah, Winnie the Pooh is me. I'll give my first impression. It's exactly how I remembered it. It actually holds up pretty well. Like, I mean, yes, it's from the 70s and it's Winnie the Pooh. They're very simple stories, but I like the way the stories are, and I like the silliness of it. I love all the characters. I mean, I grew up on Winnie the Pooh, so I have nothing bad to say about it. Like, I really enjoyed it upon this viewing still, and I will show it to my kids, too.
You?
Emily.
I agree. Even though the stories are really simple, somehow it moves along pretty quickly. I feel like there's enough short stories that you feel like you're constantly getting new content. And I like the addition of new characters with each short story part. And my favorite part of the whole thing is the storybook aspect and how you're kind of bringing, like, you're not really breaking the fourth wall, but you're relating it to real life, how they're going to fall off the page or how, like, the letters crumple down when it's raining. I just think that's really cute.
Indeed.
Agreed. Andre.
Yeah, I agree with you guys. This movie is a banger, and it's got a lot of bops in it. I love all the songs in this movie. It's crazy, and I think that is a childhood nostalgia thing, because I feel like I didn't grow up like on Winnie the Pooh. I didn't watch it religiously or whatever, but I definitely grew up with it. Winnie the Pooh is set in my subconscious somewhere right around this lobe, and so when the movie's booting up and it's singing, oh, down here in the 100-acre wood, I'm like, I am in. Let's go. I'm ready to be in the 100-acre wood. And yeah, for a movie from the 70s, it holds up immensely well. I think that Pooh and all of his friend characters are pretty timeless at this point. Even so far, I mean, the fact that the books were written by, what was his name? A. Milne. And yeah, Disney bought the rights off of him real quick, and they've obviously been a success the entire time that they've owned them. I think that this movie does a lot of the heavy lifting with that because of how well the characters are portrayed.
Yeah,
definitely,
for sure. I guess I will say one more thing for my first impression. I feel like our listeners know my Ariel obsession, but my favorite Disney character is Tigger. I don't know how many Tigger stuffed animals I have in storage. I gave one to Addie once, and she loved it. I have so many Tiggers.
I promptly lost it.
And I will literally... It's fine. I will literally never get rid of them. So growing up, I was obsessed with Tigger. My older sister was obsessed with Pooh. And my younger sister was obsessed with Piglet. So it was, like, perfect. So every time we would go to Disneyland or Christmas or anything, I have a million... I don't know how many Tiggers I have. It's a lot. I had a Tigger pillow I would take with me everywhere. It's still in storage. I will never get rid of it. And my mom's favorite was Eeyore, so we would buy her Eeyores. I don't know who my dad was, but...
Owl.
Yeah, owl, right. Something like that.
Rabbit.
He wasn't as obsessed with it as we were, but to this day, whenever I see Tigger at the parks, I'm like, oh, it's the best day ever. I love Tigger.
Well, it's funny, too, that you say that, because I feel like... Is it called Pooh's Corner?
Yeah.
Up there.
I love that area. Ugh, so
every
cute.
time you go up there when the characters are out, it's buzzing. And I'm not trying to be funny because of the bees. Like, people
people love it.
Popping up there.
Like,
I love it.
Oh, yeah. Like, people are lining up to see them.
Yeah.
And I think that the ride and the ability to capture the movie is really awesome. So if you've seen... Well, one way or the other. If you've been on the ride and never seen the movie, you're like, oh, that's really good. Or vice versa. Like, oh, I watched the movie a lot, and you go on the ride, and it's like, wow.
That's what it is. Yeah. It's so good.
Almost scene for scene.
1-to-1.
Absolutely. I mean, I guess I don't really talk about that enough, but yeah, Tigger is my favorite Disney character. Luis, first impression.
I don't know. I feel like I was watching it through like goggles, and like honey was just rolling down over the top of the goggles because everything just kind of seemed a little too slow because of the way the Pooh Bear talked. And like I was like, dude, does his mouth constantly have honey in it, or is it just moving that slow? Like,
yes, and
what
yes.
is going on?
That's just how he is. Who's that actor again? That voice actor? Because
Sterling Holloway.
Yeah, he's in
Winnie
a lot
the
of
Pooh.
stuff in the early ones.
It's a cute movie overall. I mean,
You just don't like Pooh Bear?
no, I just never really understood it. Are these teddy bears, or are they really?
They're stuffed
things
animals, yeah.
They're stuffed animals. It's
that
like
were lost
Chris-
up there.
no,
Or the
Christopher
homie just
Robin.
It's like
left
his
them out there?
imaginary
it's
world.
like his backyard. It's Christopher Robin's backyard, is what I assume. He takes his plushies, he goes out there, and they play. And these are the little adventures that he has with them in his mind, basically.
Okay. Yeah. It was okay. It was cute.
was
Definitely
cute.
watch it with my kids because
Right.
they loved it. So
Oh my gosh, Ollie loves Winnie the Pooh.
Oh yeah.
We told her, we're like, we're gonna watch Winnie the Pooh. She was like, yeah, Winnie, Winnie, Winnie. I was like, oh my gosh, she's so cute. But I think for kids, it still holds up. Like, it's cute. It's cute stories,
It's very cute.
you know? Yeah, I haven't watched this original one in a long time. I've watched, like, other cartoons and stuff. But it's so good. So I kind of want to talk about, maybe you can find that article, babe, about what each character is supposed to represent.
Oh, sure.
And here's my question before we get into it, because I think a lot of people have heard these theories. But is this an intentional thing that they're supposed to?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I think it's a theory.
I don't know if this was ever like A.A. Milne's.
I don't think he ever came out and saying, like, this is what it is.
Right.
Because I will say that I've read most of the book that this is all from because my aunt bought it for us.
Okay.
And this is Disney-fied for sure, right?
Right.
So it's a more streamlined approach from the book. And after reading it, I feel like Disney put their spin on it. So a lot of this theory is coming from the Disney version.
as
That makes
opposed to
sense. That makes
to
sense.
the A.A. Milne version.
I never read the book, so.
So just to give some background, A.A. Milne, he based the story on the character A.A. initials A.A. Milne.
Just name Milne. Yeah.
Milne.
oh,
The author, yeah.
He based Winnie the Pooh after a teddy bear owned by his son, Christopher Robin Milne, who went on to obviously become the basis of the character Christopher Robin. And then the rest of his son's toys, Piglet, Eeyore, Kangaroo, and Tigger, were all incorporated into the story. So I think overall his intention is just like, oh, look, my kid's playing, I can write a whole story about this, as opposed to here are all of the disorders that the Winnie the Pooh characters have. Okay, so I brought them up.
And they fit really well, so we're going to run with it.
I mean, this is one of the theories, though, where I'm like, I get it. Sometimes people come out with theories. I'm like, that's a stretch.
Yeah.
This one, I'm like,
The
oh.
Encanto ones we'll talk about.
Yeah.
I mean, the live version doesn't really deflect away from those theories,
Right.
Like the live version kind of
Yeah.
makes that seem like, oh man, it is.
That's what it is, yeah.
So, according to this article that I'm reading, and this is just a short list, right? It says the fan theory of the disorders of characters in Winnie the Pooh was conceived by the Canadian Medical Association. So that's interesting.
Okay.
All right.
All right, so Winnie the Pooh. You guys want to guess what he has?
Gluttony, maybe?
So
He's a glutton.
Winnie the Pooh has an eating disorder.
Yeah.
He is addicted to honey. He's also impulsive and obsessive when it comes to honey.
We're thinking about the
binge
7
eating.
deadly sins. Gluttony
got-
is one,
okay,
right?
yeah. So not
Is
the-
gluttony a 7 deadly
for
sin?
sure
Well, yes,
is.
but they aren't the 7 deadly sins.
I know.
They're like mental disorders.
I know, but
Okay, so
Right.
disorder-wise, yes.
So Piglet has anxiety.
anxiety.
Or
Hands
generalized
down.
anxiety disorder.
Hands
Poor
down.
kid.
He's always nervous or scared. He stutters because he could have experienced an incident where his self-esteem was weakened. Eeyore has depression. Obviously. Oh, Eeyore.
I love him.
Owl.
When you hear him talk, you're like, oh man, come on.
Owl, funnily enough, has dyslexia and short-term memory loss because he often misspells and misreads words, forgets things after he says them, and has trouble recalling information, which is interesting because
Okay.
he reads the most.
But he's the one that's writing all the stuff,
Right,
and
right,
yeah,
right.
it is all spelled wrong.
Yeah.
That makes sense to me. Okay.
Tigger has ADHD
Yep.
or attention deficit hyperactivity disorder.
Oh, do you think?
and bipolar disorder because he cannot sit still and rapidly switches moods. Okay?
Yeah.
I do
Whoa,
love that.
no, that's seems completely off though. Bipolar disorder is one end to another, not middle.
This is the Canadian Medical Association. You better
Just a
take it
theory,
up with them,
Luis.
okay? I don't know.
Well, and because I think because in the
and
movie,
it's not rapid either.
like the mood
Bipolar
changes.
disorder isn't rapid either.
it's not. Well, what
It's
Luis
not
is-
like
it's not
that.
from minute to minute.
Right.
You know, it's like highs and lows. But I think what they're trying to say is, remember, this isn't.
Whatever, Canadian. You guys got free healthcare. You can say whatever.
I agree with the ADHD, hands down. The
Yeah.
bipolar,
Oh, yeah, for
maybe.
Sure. I'm not sure about that.
Are you talking
bipolar.
into your mic, Lou?
Yeah, it's right here.
He's got his
Oh,
mic
I'm
on.
sorry. I thought it was over by
I
your
got
water
the
bottle.
nubbin.
He got a poof ball.
The poofer.
The poof.
Okay.
Rabbit has OCD
Yes, he does.
or obsessive compulsive disorder
He's
because
also kind of a narcissist.
he is extremely orderly.
Can I tell you real fast? Every time you bring up one of these characters, I have like a choice word that pops into my head.
Yeah.
So you say like the disorder, and I'm like, oh, yeah, you're right. It is that. But in my head, I'm like, no, he's just an asshole, right?
Rabbit, yeah.
Or whoever it is, right?
So
He's the best.
let's see here.
Sorry for that.
Oh,
But
interesting.
I think I relate to Rabbit more upon this viewing because of his garden and stuff. He's like, my garden! I'm like, yeah, I feel it, fool.
I related with him too because he had an uninvited guest and he was like, oh my God, Pooh is here again.
I actually am kind of like that. Like when people stay too long, I'm like, I'm tired, y'all.
you have to get out. Kanga has social anxiety disorder because she is extremely overprotective of Rue. Interesting.
Okay.
Oh,
Interesting. Okay, sure.
Piglet would have that too.
Right. Rue has ASD or autism spectrum disorder because he lacks awareness of danger and has a strange attachment of sitting in his mother's pouch. So this
That's
one,
a stretch.
there we go.
Okay.
That's what I thought.
That is, yeah.
That's what I thought we would say.
See,
about
I
that
don't
one.
even really think about Kanga and Rue too much because they're barely in this one, but they are in the other ones more.
Yeah.
Kanga is like very like, Rue, you can't run off.
I don't know. I think of them as like a very close,
Yeah.
like, she's like a
I
single
mean,
mom,
she has
y'all.
a pouch.
Right.
There's a reason the kid's in it. Okay.
Right, exactly. And yeah, she's got a toddler who likes to
But
hop around.
ASD,
Yeah.
that is a stretch. That's a very big stretch, in my
Anyway.
opinion.
The final one is Christopher Robin himself.
Oh, no gopher?
Who had no Gopher's not on this list. Christopher Robin himself is on this list.
I'm on the book.
He has schizophrenia because his friends appear depending on his mood. So
Oh.
all of these other characters are part of Christopher
they're in his
Robin's mind.
Okay.
Basically, I guess. That's all.
You know,
it says
so
on
some
this
of them
article.
I agree with, and some of them I'm like, eh.
Hold on, they show up based on his mood?
It says
Or you mean because the ancillaries characters come and go?
because his friends appear depending on his mood. I mean, if they're all his toys and all of their behaviors are dictated by Christopher Robin, technically, then yeah, I guess when he shows up and he's hanging out with them, depending on his mood is who he's hanging out with. So if he's having a sad day, he's probably hanging out with Eeyore. If he's having an anxious day, he's hanging out with Piglet. And if he's having a wild, crazy day, he's hanging out with everybody.
That is the biggest stretch of all for me. You mean he's using his imagination, so now he has schizophrenia?
Yes, exactly.
None of that, you guys.
So yeah, that's a theory that, I mean, like, it makes sense, but at the same time,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna subscribe to this every time I watch any Winnie the Pooh
No, and
stuff.
I don't either. But there are like some I agree with, like Tigger having ADHD. That's funny to me. That makes sense. Or Pooh, yeah, dude, he has an eating disorder. Homie only wants to eat honey. He real obsessed with his honey. And but I think the one that is
He's trying to change himself to get this honey,
There's a
okay?
rumbly in my tummy.
But honestly, I just love all of the characters in their own right because they're so funny in their own way.
Yeah.
Like Pooh Bear is funny, and I want to say something, but I won't make that this comment. But I'll tell it to you guys later.
Okay.
But he, upon this viewing, I'm not gonna say it. Never mind. Just moving on.
Good lord.
Okay.
Now I'm on
Pause it really quick.
holding a bated
Go ahead.
breath.
He's like a sassy.
Winnie the Pooh?
Yes. When he like does the eyebrow thing, he's like, he is. I'm sorry. Think of it next time you watch it.
Okay.
It was giving me those vibes. Okay, moving on.
Anyway,
You have to cut that out.
I will cut it out. I marked
Oh,
it.
was it still recording?
Oh yeah. I didn't-
He didn't stop it.
yeah.
Oh, that was good. I'm sorry.
So anyway, you know, the Canadian Medical Association got their theories, and Michelle's got her own. Right? It was different stuff going on over here. So this movie is an anthology, technically. It covers 3 of A.A. Milne's stories. Winnie the Pooh and the Honey Tree, Winnie the Pooh and the Blustery Day, and Winnie the Pooh and Tigger 2. So which is really fun. And it feels like the Honey Tree took up like the bulk of the story in this, and then the other 2 kind of trail off. Am I right or am I wrong?
No, they were all pretty equal.
Pretty equal?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I think it's because they move. It seems like there's multiple stories. Like the Blustery Day also has Owl,
Right.
and also has the search for the house,
Right.
And then like
The Honey Tree also has Rabbit,
right,
and Piglet.
and
Yeah,
then
you're right.
the last one and Tigger 2 is the Tigger part at the house, the Heffalumps, and then at the end it has the whole rabbit being a.
Yeah, I
I'm not. I'll spell it, but then I guess our listeners can spell.
Hey, can y'all
too.
spell?
You know, I have kids, so I have to spell it. But I mean, you know, him
Rabbit's
being-
a beezy.
yeah, him being rude.
Yeah.
But that's all a part of that third story. So it's funny because I agree. Like, oh, that other one's really long, but all those little parts are all part of it.
They all kind of meld in together.
Oh yeah, and the Rue part is at the end of that Tigger part.
Yes,
okay.
exactly. Mhm.
Yeah, you're right.
So I guess we can go through the plot a little bit. It is a blissfully short movie. It's an hour and 14 minutes.
It's perfect though.
It's wonderful.
you.
It's perfect.
Yeah, it's quite nicely short.
So yes, Pooh and the
Gang.
the Honey Tree is the first one.
Yes.
Literally, okay, it does the opening scene with the 100-acre wood. There's the storybook. Addie was so cute. She was like, "It's a magic storybook." I was like, "Yes, it is. It's a magic
Well,
storybook."
at first she was like, "The book opened by itself." We were like, "Yes."
Why is he on the pages? He's like, it's a magic one. Oh, magic storybook.
And that is an aspect of this movie that I really, really like. I really like that the characters are all within a storybook.
Sure, for
right?
sure.
And they're floating around on words and letters, and the letter pages are turning and all that stuff.
And the narrator's so good too. Like when Pooh is, I think he's eating a bunch of honey in one of them, and he's like, "In the next chapter," and Pooh's like, "But I'm not done."
And he's like, "Don't worry, you're in that one too."
I'm not finished yet. Yeah, Pooh's
Very cute.
Pooh's very funny.
And you're saying the book's kind of written like that too, or
Yeah.
No. Well, the book is there's not like a there's a narrator type.
Right. The narrator
Writing,
is
but-
the words.
Yes,
basically.
but it's not like I'm not done.
Right.
It doesn't.
where
do
they like
that
kind of break
part.
the fourth wall, like you were saying. I think it's so funny and
Oh,
cool.
it's very cute to watch.
Yeah.
So the opening scene, Pooh wakes up. He has got a rumbly in his tumbly, okay?
Is this everybody's early morning routine?
Yes. And then he sings. Honestly, I think it's one of the best songs. Puts me in the mood. Up, down, touch the ground. In the mood for food. Yeah, Pooh Bear is me right now,
Yeah.
dude. Okay.
I'm the same, except I don't do all these stretches. I'm just in the mood for food when I wake up.
Maybe we should
I
do.
just
Maybe
love
we
it.
should do the stretches. But
Yeah, Pooh is actually really smart. The stretches
and
are-
he has no honey in the house. Sad
it's
day.
all gone. He ate it all.
It's a sad day.
And Owl
so
taught him how to spell honey.
Yeah. It's
And
spelled differently on every
I think
pot.
it's this story, the honey one. Like whenever he's talking about the honey or the narrator says something about the honey, he like looks at the screen and does that thing with his eyebrows. Like, ooh, yes, thank you. I can't do it. But I was like, I don't remember Winnie the Pooh doing that.
No,
And
me
it's
neither.
so funny.
Did you say honey?
Yeah, and he's like, he's like a spaz.
He's hilarious.
I love him. He's the best.
So he goes out there. He's got to get his fix. He goes to the
So
tree.
he's also an addict.
And he's like telling Christopher Robin, he's like, "Yo, I got an idea, okay? I'm gonna cover myself in mud." And Addie was like, "What is he?" I was like, "Oh, he's a little black rain cloud." She was like, "Huh? He covered himself in mud." I was like, "Yeah, I know."
Well, it's part. It's all part of Winnie the Pooh's grand plan. All right.
I mean, I think it's pretty smart.
It's a grand plan.
There's a tree. All right. In this tree, at the top, there's a bee hole.
And
a
you know,
hole
he
for
said the
bees.
only thing bees are good for is making honey.
It's a hole for bees that's in this tree.
Yeah, you should have said a hive, babe.
A bee hole.
my
And
God.
so Winnie's idea, all right, is to fill up a balloon. He's very light, even though he's got that rumbly
Oh
tumbly.
yeah, he asked Christopher Robin for a balloon.
He gets a balloon. He's gonna fly up to the hole, all right, and he's gonna get the honey out. But to confuse the bees that are in the hole, right? He's going to cover himself in mud and just pretend to be a dark, stormy rain cloud.
I'm
Brilliant.
just a little black rain cloud hovering over the honey tree. And I think there's one point where like the mud's like dripping off him, and he's like, Christopher Robin, I think it would help if you open your umbrella and say, tut tut, it's raining. It's so funny.
Christopher Robin's like, tut tut, it's raining. Tut tut.
Tut tut, it's raining.
Emily's still dying over the hole of the bees.
You said behold.
Yeah,
Done.
that wasn't the right terminology, baby.
Whatever, it was perfect. It made perfect sense. So Pooh goes up there, and I believe he gets stuck. Is that what happens first?
No, his balloon, the bees come after him. He puts his hand in the hole. Mm-hmm. He eats the honey with all the bees on it,
So
and then he's like spitting out all the bees.
Bees are in his mouth.
And they're so mad at him.
I like that
You
it's
have
like
you
in
have
his
a
mouth.
more
He's
strong
doing-
concept of the plot than I do.
Yeah. So the bees are really mad. He's spitting them out for a long time. Okay. I was like, they're still in his head. He's like knocking his noggin and stuff. It's so funny. And so then the bees are mad. They pop the balloon and he goes flying off around. The bees are chasing him.
And he flies to the next page, I think, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. He like flies to the next page.
Just knocks in next week.
And he was really sad that he didn't get any honey. Okay, he was knocked into next week. So his plan number two was to go to Rabbit's house and ask him for honey.
Right.
He's like, I know who got honey.
I have a question before we move on. Does he, in the scene, because now I can't remember, I'm getting them confused, does he go up with the balloon before he covers himself in mud? Or no, just
He covers
the mud
himself
part?
with mud and then he goes up with a balloon.
Okay, the reason I ask is because in the book, he does
He does a couple
the
trials.
other one. He does just himself with the balloon. And I say that, and I know that because I have the Winnie the Pooh tattoo. And I have the one straight from the book, and he's not muddy.
Right.
He's like
And
going
the
up
mud
doing
drips
his own
off
thing.
of him pretty quick,
Oh,
too.
that's true.
So
He's not quite
Yeah, he's not super muddy.
it didn't-
chocolate covered
By the time he
anymore.
gets up
it didn't really work too well.
He tried.
They get away from the bees, though. They fall in the mud. Christopher Robin puts the umbrella down. And you're right, it's into the next day. So the narrator is he goes to his thoughtful spot, okay? So he's floating around, flinging, and there's butterflies. He goes to his thoughtful spot. Yeah, think. And he says, I know what to do. I'm going to go visit Rabbit, okay?
Because Rabbit's always got honey on deck, okay? Rabbit knows to save up his honey and to keep it off in the corner where Pooh can get it. And
Yeah.
Pooh comes in.
This is the one Andre remembers
That's
because
Rabbit's own fault. Dude, don't keep honey if you don't want a honey bear come up in here.
yeah,
Oh, my
he's
goodness.
literally a honey bear. I didn't know
It's
what
so
to do
funny,
about it.
'cause-
But Andre was really putting himself in Rabbit's shoes in this situation.
I got my whole house. My whole house is in order. I got my garden outside, my honey is inside, and now this bear has come into my house and he's eating up all my honey. It's so
Well, and
funny.
he's like, no Rabbit here. But somebody must be saying that, so it must be you, Rabbit.
It's so funny when Pooh finally gets in the house, right?
He's like, oh, Pooh.
He's like, oh, it's Pooh. Hey,
You want
hey,
some
Pooh.
lunch?
And Pooh is like, oh, if you have some honey, that'd be wonderful. And he's like, okay, I'll give you a little bit of honey.
He's
all
like,
right?
do you want bread with that honey? He was like, no.
No, just the honey, please.
Just a small smackerel.
Just a small little smackerel of honey.
I like how
so
you're making
funny.
him into an Irish leprechaun, okay?
So Rabbit, he grabs the honey, he puts a plate out for Pooh, and he puts like a drip of honey on it. And Pooh's like, oh, well, I think I wanted a little bit more than that little of a smackerel. You can leave the bowl or whatever.
He
And
takes the whole jar, yeah.
oh, my God. Then then Winnie the Pooh is just...
And I think the narrator says he ate and ate and ate and ate and ate for a long time until he couldn't eat anymore.
I think the narrator here is so funny because he's like, and ate.
It was impressive, really, the amount of eating that he was doing.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't eat that much honey, that's for sure. And then I think he's like, oh, there's no more honey. Is there, Rabbit? And he's like, no,
No,
you ate it
you ate all
all.
my
And he's
honey.
like, all right, well, I'm out of here.
Okay.
I was
Bye.
you're just using your friend Pooh for honey.
And instead of using the door, which Rabbit does have a door on
He
his
does.
house,
He has a
right?
door on the other side.
But he also
has a rabbit hole.
A rabbit hole, because he's a rabbit. Bees got their holes, rabbits got this hole, okay? So Pooh.
Well, and that's the funny part is he has a house
Yeah.
on the other side.
Yeah, it's like a burrow, you know?
Right,
Yeah.
right. So Pooh decides to take the whole exit instead of the door exit.
Because that's the way he came in, so.
But he has enlarged himself with the amount of honey that he's eating.
Dude, yeah, he
just trying to-
chunkers.
I'm just very happy that every time we finish recording this podcast, we don't gain weight in that way because we sit here and eat.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, we do.
hours.
We've been snacking this whole time.
And then we leave, or you guys leave. And can you imagine
If you
we
had
did poop?
a rabbit hole and we tried to exit through that every time,
Andre, I'm pretty sure
I'm
you could
pregnant
find
too. It would not
me and
work.
Michelle would
Emily,
not be able to leave.
call Gopher. I'm stuck.
Get some dynamite up in here. Yeah, so Rabbit is really upset that Pooh is stuck in the hole. So Rabbit runs out the door and goes to Christopher Robin and is like, come help me get this Pooh out of this hole. That sounds gross too. Too much Pooh humor, guys. They try to pull him out and they can't, okay? But Owl sees him first and Owl is like, well, what are you doing? And he's like, I'm stuck. And he's like, And so I think he hires Gopher.
He hires Gopher.
He hires Gopher to dig him out.
Gopher's like, I'm not in the book. I don't know how you found me. I'm not in the book. Okay, I'll give you a special rate.
So Gopher's so funny. He says he can dig it out, but that there would be permanent damage, like it would cave in. And he's like, well, we can't do that.
He meant there was going to be permanent damage to Pooh.
No, like the house
The
would
house
cave
would
in.
fall over.
Like the house would fall in.
I thought he meant like Pooh was going to lose an ear or something.
No.
If he used the dynamite, then that's what.
No, and so then Gopher was like, we'll use the dynamite. And he's like, call me if you need me. La, la, la. I'm not in the books. And then he falls down his hole.
I'm not in the books.
He's so funny.
I like Gopher.
So basically,
Working
they
man.
can't get him out of the hole, and they just say he has. I think Christopher Robin says he has to wait till he gets skinny again.
Yeah, we're gonna have to wait until you thin out again, Pooh, because you done honeyed yourself up.
He's like, well, we'll wait for Pooh to get skinny again.
So it's like days and days and days. And
Oh, a
days.
long time.
Like weeks for sure.
Rabbit puts out a sign that says, do not feed the Pooh.
Don't feed the bear.
Because Gopher is trying to give him
So
honey.
funny.
And Pooh's like, I wasn't going to eat it. I was just going to smell
I was just gonna
it.
taste it.
Just gonna
That's all.
Taste this
Just
honey.
wanted to taste it.
It's a little.
Rabbit tries to like decorate Pooh's butt with like
Got like a
a rustic feel. Can you imagine the amount of farts in Rabbit's house?
oh
Good
man.
God, no.
That would.
Maybe they smell like honey.
Ew.
Y'all can't make that sound when you guys get like candles that smell like honey.
Honey fart?
Honey farts.
Honey farts.
Good God.
Oh yeah, we
farts.
selling that candle.
Ew.
I like that. a
So
lot.
well,
That's hilarious.
he finally gets skinny, and Rabbit
Oh
is
God,
like,
stop.
What?
I would be Rabbit, okay?
What,
Trying to
decorating his
decorate
butt?
the butt, yes. He like puts a shelf,
Uh-huh.
and then he puts like a picture frame. He like puts it over Pooh's
Pooh's
butt,
butt.
and like paints on Pooh, puts like antlers and thinks it's a moose, right? Oh,
Like,
I would do the same thing.
don't
Like,
know if
let's
this
make
works.
this look better.
Let's make this a moose.
hilarious.
Oh.
So Pooh finally budges a little bit, and this song that they sing about him is really funny. Hooray, hooray, the Pooh's is free today. I think they said like something, they waited because he was fat, and now he's not. I don't know all the lyrics to that one. I'm about to look it up, but it's hecka funny.
For you, hooray
For me.
Yeah. Jolly good. It's a good story. So yeah, Pooh gets out of there. Does he go back to his house, or I think
No, they pull him out. Heave, ho, heave.
Oh yeah, it was a long
Ho.
line of people.
And then he flies off into the honey hole.
yes, and he gets stuck
And
out.
he's stuck in the honey hole, and that's the end of it. He is real
nice.
happy.
Heaven.
Oh yeah, that's when he finally has to get
Right, that's
you
when
know
is
turning the page.
Yeah, the narrator's like, all right, we're moving on.
You're in
and
the next
Pooh's
one,
like,
too.
That song is called Hip Hip Pooray.
Oh, Pooray, that's cute.
Hip hip hooray.
That's smart.
Hip Hip Pooray.
Yeah, so that's very funny. So after this, we move into the second story, right, which is the blustery day.
Oh, this is the best. It says, now the time has come for proving what the diet did for Pooh. And since we pledged he'd be unwedged, that's what we're going to do. Okay?
That's good stuff.
It was the diet. That was why I was like, oh yeah, Pooh's diet. They weren't
Pooh's
even
on a
feeding him.
I think that's one of my favorite parts, though. In the middle of the night, Gopher comes back up and he pulls out his lunchbox. I remember this distinctly from being a kid. He like pulls it out and he's going through his lunch and he's like looking at all the little things, pulling it out, and that's when Rabbit's like,
He's pissed. No, this is the best line. It says think heavish, think hoish, and out the Pooh will go-ish. For mind over matter has made the Pooh unfatter.
Yeah.
Okay, he did it.
Mind over matter
Has made the Pooh unfatter. I'm sorry, it's the lyrics to that one are so funny. I love it.
This poor chubby little bear.
The Pooh will free today.
He's just trying to get his honey.
Poor Pooh.
Poor Pooh. Oh, brother. Oh, bother.
I relate to Pooh so much. It's just so funny.
Okay.
And that's the end of the Pooh's honey.
That's the
Yes.
honey tree.
So the next one is the
They move on
blustery
from
day,
him eating.
Yes.
which is the one that I remember the most as a kid.
Okay.
Is the blustery day, and the rain came down, 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 rushing, rising rivulets.
And am I correct that it starts with...
It's just
Piglet.
windy. Yeah, Piglet. This one's more about Piglet.
Yeah.
So it's really, really windy outside. Piglet is
Little.
sweeping leaves off of his front house. And he's like, this is my house, Mr. Narrator. Okay. It's named after my grandfather, Trespasser's Will. Okay. And then the narrator's like, that's your grandfather? And he's like, uh-huh. And this house was given to me. And his name, I think my grandma called him Will.
T.W..
TW.
Yeah, TW.
Yeah, that's right.
So cute. So it's really, really windy, okay? Like, really windy,
It's blustering
okay?
out there.
And it's making Piglet kind of scared because he is anxious because it
And
is...
because trespassers will be
windy.
shot. That's why.
Right.
No, Emily.
It's what it means.
Yeah, he's definitely got some anxiety going on in there.
Well, and the best part is he lives in a tree. And now it's windy.
Yeah.
So the, the leaves are coming down, and this poor cat is trying to get the leaves out of there. Have you ever tried to rake leaves in the fall? Okay, it's
I have not. No, I don't have a lawn, but one day I aspire to. And
to lose a losing battle.
yes, exactly. Get the rake. Get the.
Poor Piglet.
Dude, it's so funny. So he goes to, like, find everybody, and then Winnie the Pooh is also out there chilling in the blustery day because he likes it. He has a little scarf in this one.
Mm-hmm.
It's freaking cute. It's actually very cute that he has it. And Piglet, is it like a string that he gets from Piglet because they're stuffed animals where Piglet's flying away?
Yes.
And he's, like, flying Piglet like a
scarf
kite.
unravels.
Oh, it's his
Oh,
scarf.
it's his
Okay.
scarf. Okay. Good, it's
Yeah,
not his
he's
body.
like flying Piglet like a kite, dude, and Piglet is flying off. Okay.
I guess it's his ears. His ears aren't that big, but I guess they're big enough to just take him off into the stratosphere because he is up there, dude.
Yeah.
Come
It's
down.
so sad.
Yeah, dude.
And I will say that this part of the story is better than this part in the book. So they definitely Disneyfied it to make it cuter, which I appreciate, him blowing off into the wind.
It's hilarious.
This is where the wind continues to blow and blow and blow, and then because he...
Straight into Owl's house.
Yeah, doesn't he blow into Owl's house?
Yes.
Yeah, they like
They
blow.
both do.
They blow like onto the window, and Owl is like, "Oh, hello, what's
They're
up?"
like, let us in.
Right? And he's like, "Let us in," right? And they're like, "Owl, it is real blustery out there," and he's like, "This is nothing like the winds of 1694 or whatever, back in my day."
And am I correct that everybody hates Owl?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think they like Owl very much.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, excuse me. Not that the people in the 100 Acre Wood do. I mean, like, you and me.
Oh, everybody.
Oh, I like
us.
Owl.
I mean, I like
Oh.
Owl.
He's funny.
My God,
He
no.
He's like an old man.
He is annoying, but it's funny.
He's supposed to be
annoying.
like an old man, right? Like.
I mean, yeah, like an older. He's the wise one.
Okay,
Yeah,
he's an old coot.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. So he's talking about all this stuff. They're like flying through the house, and Pooh's trying
It's
to get
like
the honey.
rocking and everything
Yeah.
going.
Owl has offered Pooh some honey, and Pooh's like, of course, and it keeps like flying.
I like that they always lie. He's like, "You like honey, right, Pooh?" And he's like, "Oh, yes." You guys should know by now Pooh likes honey.
Yeah. You know my name is Pooh, right?
Winnie the Pooh, the honey bear.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't like number honey.
So eventually the house blows so much that it falls over. And I love that Owl just takes his rocking chair outside of the house and is rocking in front of his fallen over house. And Christopher Robin and them come and they're like, Owl, your house, I think it's unfixable.
And you like how
not
he
gonna
asks
happen.
Pooh if Pooh did it?
Yeah, he's like, Pooh, did you do this? He's like,
I was in here.
Pooh, this looks like
with
some
you.
Pooh behavior up here.
told you it was blustery outside. He didn't believe us.
I
But,
was literally sitting here with you. Did I do it? No.
but Eeyore is so nice in this one. He says he's going to go find Owl a new house.
You're so funny because he has to rebuild his house every freaking day.
Yeah.
He's like, well, sometimes you lose a house. You gotta get a new one. I'll help.
Dude, we also missed
I'll
we
help.
also missed a scene where they're like nailing on his tail. And Christopher Robin's like, it needs to go a little to the right. And Kanga's like, it needs to go a little bit north. And he's like, well, whatever.
I'm probably gonna lose it again anyway.
His poor tail.
Yeah.
So yeah, Eeyore is really nice and volunteers to go find Owl a new house. It's very
We all
sweet.
need friends like
Like
Eeyore.
Eeyore.
It's very sweet. Then it starts raining, okay? It's another day. They haven't found him a house yet. But it starts to get real stormy and rainy since the rain's coming down in the Russian rising rivulets. It literally is like exactly like the ride.
Oh, yeah.
In my opinion. It's so good.
Right.
Yeah, it's raining like crazy, okay? And it's flooding, and Winnie the Pooh falls down, and he's just like floating on a chair. And I think Piglet gets stuck in a honey pot. Poor Piglet. And they go, Christopher Robin, they're like, we gotta find Piglet, we gotta save Piglet. And eventually they just go down like a waterfall and show up there, and they're like, Pooh, you did such a brave thing. You saved Piglet. And I'm like, Pooh didn't do nothing. Okay,
Jack
Pooh
Squad
was just
Diddly.
floating down
on
the
a chair.
river. Literally floating down the river. He didn't do anything.
Piglet's just
okay?
lucky.
It's fine. So
Oh,
they're
hey, Piglet.
Oh,
Hey,
Piglet, you're here.
how you doing,
oh,
Rob?
Piglet's in the honey pot. And I think even Piglet was like, Pooh saved me. I'm like, he did not save you. You saved yourself, homie.
Come on, Piglet.
You literally
Excuse
saved
you,
yourself.
he was in a honey pot. Where do you think he got that?
I guess it was from Pooh. From the rain that took it out of Pooh's house.
Yeah.
You know.
And he wouldn't be in there.
And
if
Addie
the pot
was
wasn't empty.
Addie
you know?
was like, "There's a lot of water in their house." I was like, "Yeah,
Yeah.
there is."
Thanks for eating all the honey out of this, so I can have
So I can
room
float
to
in it.
fall in. Okay.
Poor Piglet. So
So excuse you.
they're found. The rain has stopped. Things are starting to dry up. And Eeyore shows up and he's like, I found Owl a new house. And they walk over there and it's Piglet's house. And Piglet's like, oh yeah, that's a nice house. And I like it's a great house. And Pooh's like, Piglet, isn't that your house? Say something. And he's like, it's okay.
Oh no, it's
Owl can take my house. And Christopher Robin's like, what a very brave thing to do. I'm like, he's homeless now, you guys. This isn't how it's supposed to go. And then Pooh says he can come live with him. It's actually like,
Why couldn't Owl go live with
With Pooh,
somebody?
yeah. Like what? I guess Piglet
Piglet
takes up
got
a little less
kicked-
space.
it was his grandfather's house. And they took it from him.
Trespassers will.
Trespassers Will's house.
Poor
Piglet.
Piglet.
So because it's
Cannot with this freaking.
because it was a very nice thing to do. They have a party for them with his party hats. Hooray. That it was very happy for
So
them.
then he makes it into a 2-party because it's for Pooh, but then it's also for Piglet for
Piglet too.
Yeah.
giving up his house.
Yeah, for being brave, I guess.
That's the end of that
Bravely
one.
not saying anything so that his house gets taken from him by a squatter.
I mean, this is my least favorite of the 3 stories in the movie, but it is really funny still. It's so ridiculous
Yeah.
that they literally just took his house.
Like, all right, I guess,
Poor Piglet.
I guess
So sad.
He got it. They were squatters in his house.
you would think trees would be easy to come by in the 100-acre wood. There's 100 acres, but not enough for these 7 plushy animals that each have a house.
Oh, good God.
It's fine.
Okay, so that basically ends the second story, right?
Yeah.
The blustery day. And then we move into Winnie the Pooh and Tigger.
The best one. This is the best.
I mean, Tigger is,
And I was like, where is Tigger? Is he coming or what? Because Tigger is the best.
It feels like Tigger's in, like, looking back, I feel like Tigger's in the whole thing.
Right.
So at this point, like watching.
I'm just
it,
ready
you're
for
like,
him to have
where the
his
heck is
time.
he?
Like, is somebody missing? Somebody is missing from all of these characters.
There is something very excitable that is not here.
And it's Tigger, the best Pooh Bear character
Why
ever.
is he on patrol the night that, like, where does he hear about the Heffalumps and Woozles? Because isn't that why he's on patrol?
Yes.
I think
at
it's
night?
just a thing that he thinks of.
So Pooh is supposed to be asleep.
Because they don't even know what Heffalumps and Woozles are. And Tigger's
Right.
like, y'all don't know about no Heffalumps and Woozles.
So first question, where's Piglet? I thought he was with you, bro.
You know, maybe it's been a couple months and he got himself back on his feet. He found a new place.
So that was my first inquiry, okay?
The wonderful thing about Tiggers. Is Tiggers those wonderful things?
Girl, we ain't there yet.
I know.
He's walking back and forth, looking at himself in the mirror, checking out the goods.
Yeah,
and then it's like, hey, you scared?
Yeah.
Okay.
He is on patrol in his own house.
So funny.
He's just
With the
walking
gun.
around.
What kind of gun is that called?
It's like
Like a BB gun.
It's
But
not
it
a
has
BB
like
gun.
the popper thing on the front.
Yeah, it's like a pop gun. Is that what it's called?
Maybe.
Sounds like a BB gun.
Nah, because
it
BBs
doesn't-
shoot BBs.
You're right. It doesn't have BBs. It just has the one little pop thing that pops out.
Yeah,
when you shoot
yeah, that's true. That's true.
Pre-nerf.
So he is on patrol for the Heffalumps and Woozles. And it's just like the ride. He eventually falls asleep because he is too tweepy because he is a Pooh Bear.
Listen, he's
Okay.
had to march back and forth across his 300 square foot apartment, and he's tired.
He's too tweepy. He's also talking to himself in the mirror like there's another Pooh Bear
Honestly,
there.
300 square feet is probably way bigger than than Pooh's his 25 square foot
Yeah.
apartment.
Yeah.
His bachelor
And
pad.
this is like one of the best scenes, but Addie was so confused. She was like, "What is a heffalump?" I was like, "Oh, it's like an elephant." And this Woozle's like a weasel. I was like, "Yeah,
Oh,
exactly."
did she say that? What a smart kid.
Yeah, yeah, it's just smart.
Woozle's like a weasel.
Thanks for watching it with my child.
Yeah, no
It
problem.
was more fun watching it with him.
It was.
Ollie was living her best life.
So Pooh falls
A
asleep,
heffalump a woozle.
and he has a
a
terrible
very
nightmare.
Confuzzle.
I won't lie, it's a pretty scary.
But woozle very sly, 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 sly. They comes in ones and twozles.
Toozles.
And if they so choozles, they choose to guzzle up the thing you prize. It's his honey.
My prize.
They're eating all his honeys.
So yeah, Pooh's having this terrible dream, and all
Don't be
these
gluttonous, brah.
heffalumps.
They're extraordinary.
Turning
Oh,
into
God, she's
bees.
gonna sing the
better
whole song.
Be wary.
It is a good
Because
song.
they
It
come
is a
in
very good
every
song.
shape and size.
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 If
Okay, hold
honey's
on,
what
pause.
you love it.
As a kid, did this scare you?
No.
I don't remember being
I
scared.
don't remember being
by the
scared.
song.
The second half of the song scared me. Like the first
Oh,
half was like, yeah, when they start with like the what is that thing called, the accordion and stuff. I was like, oh.
But you know, I do
Yeah.
I do confuse this song in my mind with Pink Elephants a lot
with
Well,
Dumbo?
because it's the same kind of animation.
from Dumbo.
Yeah, for
right?
sure.
And
Elephants on Parade scarier.
but
to
I
me.
think Pink Elephants is the scary one.
The Elephants
But-
on Parade.
Elephants
yeah.
on Parade. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Is that what
No,
it's-
I agree with
called?
you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I agree. I do get them confused, but I think the second half of the song reminds me of that one a little bit
With the
more.
accordion, because they're like dancing a little bit. Yeah,
Yeah.
it is a little.
But you're right. It
a
is the
little
same
scary.
type of animation as the one from Dumbo.
And then
so.
didn't they have something like Bedknobs and Broomsticks had one like this too? And we were
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, I think so.
They had these like dream scenes like that a lot.
Yeah.
But I love
whose dreams looking like this?
I don't-
My dreams do not look like this.
Mine don't
Well,
look
it's
like
all
this
this honey,
either.
man. You know,
But-
you get on honey cake.
That's
you have
like my
dreams like
favorite
this.
part. I love the Heffalumps and Woozles. Because then they came out with the Heffalump movie. Have you seen the one?
Definitely not.
Oh, it's so good. It's
I don't
Pooh
think I've
and
seen
the
the Heffalump
Heffalump
movie
movie.
either.
It's about, you know, there one time the elephant looks like a buzzy bee.
Yes.
That's what, like the Heffalump that they have in that movie. It's really cute.
all right.
A buzzy bee? Looks like a bee?
He looks like
He's
a
like a bee, like an elephant
Oh,
bee. It's
That's-
cute.
I'm sure that's cute.
It is very cute.
yeah. So I
Pooh
believe
Pooh wakes up from his dream. He's like, whoa.
Pooh wakes up and he's like, man, Heffalumps and Woozles crazy.
This would have been better if my bunkmate was here.
Where's
Jeez.
Piglet? Does Tigger just show up at his house?
He hears a.
He
Oh,
hears
that's right.
it.
He hears him waiting outside, lying in wait.
Yeah.
The tiger. But the tigers come at night.
Oh,
Oh, I was gonna do the.
That's not where I was going with that.
I was going with
Where are
the.
you guys going?
I am a tiger.
Oh,
Tigger just being a little
You
creep.
can take it to a maze if you need to.
so what happens after that, dear? Tigger comes in.
Oh, yeah. He comes in and he scares him.
He scares
Which
Winnie
was
the
really
Pooh.
scary.
I mean, yeah.
I remember Luis was like, "How you just coming into someone's house 2:00 in the morning, brah? You wonder why people don't like you?
Yeah.
Just running in here, pouncing on him.
Running in, bouncing and pouncing.
And he comes in, like,
Yep.
jumps on his stomach.
Yeah, on his
knocks
belly.
him over and is like, wow, how you doing?
Exactly.
Let me sing you a song. You awake? Okay, good.
And I think Pooh Bear like tells Rabbit about it, and then I think Rabbit gets annoyed because is it snowy time? It's
Yeah, it's
snowing.
winter.
Yeah, it's winter, and Tigger is bouncing around, and he's just getting things everywhere. Okay, he runs like right through his carrot patch. He runs through a lot of things, and he sings his song, "The Wonderful Things About Tiggers." Tigger's wonderful things. He's also voiced by.
Is
it the same?
Is he also Sterling Holloway? Hang on a second.
I think he might be.
Let me see.
Isn't it the guy who does the not Sucker and Succotash? The guy
Yeah.
who does the Mad Hatter?
It's Paul Winchell. He played Boomer in The Fox and the Hound. He played the Chinese cat in The Aristocats. And
Yeah.
not his finest role. And
Okay.
let me see.
Basically, Tigger has been bouncing on everybody, okay? Mainly just Pooh, Piglet, and Rabbit.
And all of Rabbit's.
And Rabbit is not having it.
You know what? Poor Rabbit has had it hard.
Yeah.
Now I understand as an adult. Okay. Taking it
Yeah.
back.
But Rabbit's plan wasn't good. He was like, we're going to go on
No. This is the worst. But I mean, like, think about his house. Pooh ruined it. Then Tigger came, ruined his garden.
Yeah.
But you can come back and do my rutabagas.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
That would've been
So anyways,
What's a rutabaga?
it's like a
kind of
radish.
vegetable.
It's like a radish.
Look it up.
Um,
Everyone needs to know what a rutabaga is.
So Rabbit comes up. He calls a meeting, and Piglet and Pooh are there, and Pooh is just like falling asleep the whole time. And I think at one point they were like, he was like, "You agree, Pooh?" And he was like, "We're gonna have to start over because I was asleep." Okay. But they come up.
He really is like you, though.
Yeah, he is. I know. I'm telling you. In my older age, I'm relating more with Pooh Bear than Tigger. I don't have Tigger's energy anymore. Andre's laughing because I sleep all day.
Can't be going
you guys.
bouncing around. I got nothing.
Hey, y'all. Rutabaga is a Swedish turnip. There you go.
Oh,
Yes.
Turnip.
Okay, so
Turn up.
the plan is that they're going to take Tigger on a walk in the forest and abandon him and then find him the next day. And then they're just going to hope that he'll stop bouncing on them.
Okay.
It's very rude.
It doesn't
Which is-
it doesn't make sense. Like if I was lost and I saw you, I'd bounce on you more because I'd be so happy that I
Heck
found
yeah,
you.
man.
Oh, I haven't
You
been
know?
abandoned. You guys are here.
He's literally thinking about, like, I mean, I don't know. That's...
It doesn't make
call
sense.
CPS on him.
It really doesn't make sense. So they go on a walk the next day in the forest, and it's like foggy. And then they hide in the log, and Tigger is like, hello, where's my friends? And he's like, they're lost. And yeah, they do get lost because they don't know where they are either. Because Rabbit doesn't know what he's doing.
They failed this plan miserably. Like, I can't
And
believe.
that's honestly what you get, bro.
Yeah. You can't be abandoning your friends in the woods. There's 100 acres out here. I'm supposed to find his way back.
And he's out here. I really appreciate that they get scared from all, like, their regular... I mean, I suppose if you were lost in the woods, it would be scary.
It would be
but, like,
scary.
the caterpillars just sitting there like, dude, I'm just eating my leaf.
Yeah.
Rude.
Yeah.
Don't come at
It
me
is
like
my
I'm
God.
scary.
So Pooh says that they
the
should
regular
follow.
owl that's not Big Owl.
Yeah, Pooh says they should follow the sand pit out, like with Piglet, and Rabbit didn't like that idea. So Rabbit was like, I'm going to go this way without you guys. And they fall asleep and wake up the next day, and Pooh's tummy's rumbling. And he was like, now that Rabbit's not here, I can hear my honeypots calling me from my cupboard.
honeypots.
Yeah, so they find their way back home, but Rabbit is still lost. And so Tigger shows up, and he's like, you guys were lost. And they were like, yeah. And they were like, where's Rabbit? And they were like, he's still lost in the woods, okay?
We all got lost. We didn't abandon nobody.
I guess that's a good excuse.
Also,
even though
Tigger
it's
bounces
not-
on them, so the plan didn't work. Anyway.
Yeah, he's
So-
back to bouncing.
They have to go back to the forest and find Rabbit. And they find him, and Tigger's like, Tiggers never get lost, dude. We're Tiggers. Okay? We know where we're going.
we know where we're going. Built-in GPS.
It's
That's what
fun.
the second G is for. GPS. T-I-double-G-R.
Yeah, it's crazy. So the plan didn't work, basically. Okay. Then it's wintertime again. It's wintertime, so they like go ice skating with Rue and stuff. But there's
Right.
not like much culminates from that.
No.
You know what I mean? They're just like having a thing. And is this where they start investigating the tracks?
Yes, of the Jaguar, is that what it is?
Yeah, Jaguar.
The Jaguar tracks. Do you remember
Pooh and
this?
Piglet are doing their own thing while they're all ice skating.
Yeah, let's see here. This says Pooh and Piglet are investigating strange animal tracks that are actually Tigger and Ruse. When Pooh and Piglet hear Tigger howling for help and spot him, they hide, mistaking him for a jaguar.
Whatever that is.
Rue calls out to Pooh and Piglet, alleviating their fears, and Tigger begs for someone to fetch Christopher Robin. All the rest of the friends soon hear of Tigger and Rue's situation and rush in to help. The gang use Christopher's coat as a net for Tigger and Rue to land in once they jump from the tree. Rue successfully jumps down, but Tigger, who is still too frightened to jump, makes up several excuses not to come down. One of them is that a Tigger's tail would get tangled up in the tree branches. You know, I got this long, tangly tail I use to bounce. I can't lose this tail. That will hurt.
I just really appreciate the commentary. Like, I really would love it if he just ad-libbed that because it's so funny.
Well, and then Rabbit basically says if they were going to get him out of the tree that he can't bounce anymore.
Right.
Which is also really rude. So then,
I'm gonna let you die up there unless you tell me.
I
come down here and
know.
not
So
do
it's
anything
really,
about
it's really sad. So
I
when
want you to take everything that there is about you and can it.
I know.
Either that or die.
It's
Right.
really sad. So then when he gets down from the tree, Tigger wants to bounce and Rabbit reminds him like you can't bounce anymore, and Tigger's like super depressed
Okay.
because he can't bounce no more.
No more bouncing.
It's really sad.
I take it back. I keep going back and forth. Rabbit, you mean
So-
you a beep?
Now Tigger and
Rabbit
Annie are
doesn't
both
even feel
depressed.
bad. Rabbit's like
No.
all the other ones are like Tigger is sad, and Rabbit's like fine, he can bounce again. But Rabbit was like, this is great.
Yeah,
he was being a
this
jerk.
worked out in my favor.
Your near-death experience is my revelation. Thank you.
And then Tigger teaches them all to bounce.
Right. And he bounces on them all again.
Yes.
Yes.
Tigger's bounce, okay? You can't just be like, I ain't bouncing. It's so rude.
So rude, Tigger.
So rude.
And then is that?
That's it.
That is it, right? That's the
Yeah,
end of
there's
the
only
movie.
3 stories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're trying to take away Tigger's bounce.
How,
Yeah, Rabbit's
how
a party
dare you.
pooper, huh?
Oh my god.
I mean, yeah. He's a party pooper. He's the one who brings vegetables.
Like,
to
Eeyore's
to
the depressed one,
cookout,
but he's
you
not
know?
really that much of a party pooper. He's kind of cute.
Right, he's down for whatever.
he's
Like,
pretty
okay.
down. He's just gonna.
He's just like-
gonna see the bad in the party.
Somebody
and be like,
pick up my tail on the way.
Oh, bother. In my house.
Yeah, I like Eeyore the best.
You like Eeyore the
I
best?
think Eeyore's my favorite.
Yeah, Tigger's my favorite.
pretty funny.
Yeah.
He's the best.
This is just,
It was when we were watching this short that I was telling Addie about the Tigger movie. I was like, not gonna watch the Tigger
oh,
movie.
goodness.
Go cry. And she was like, I want to watch the Tigger movie. I was like, you want to watch a movie that make you cry? She was like, it's okay. We'll cry together. And I said, okay. So I guess we gotta watch a Tigger movie now.
Oh no.
Me and Addie.
She forces herself to cry. Good luck.
She
man.
does, man.
Yeah.
That child, love her to death, but jeez,
So
stop
funny.
being such drama.
But I was
don't
like
mind
that with
she's
movies.
dramatic in general. Like whatever, cry if you want to cry.
No, but she- you
today
mean like
she
for
was
movies she
forcing
cries?
herself to cry.
Oh. Over a movie or?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's a sad part. You're supposed to cry. You know, you gotta
Yeah, no, you don't need
gotta
to.
squeak them tears out.
Okay,
Hey, she feels emotions, okay? She got it. I was the same way. I came out of the, well, if you show her the Tigger movie, she would cry. I came out of the movie theater like in hysterics, like hyperventilating.
hang on,
My mom had to take me to the van to like calm down and be like, it's a story like Tigger. I was like, Tigger doesn't have a family. He's the only one. And it was so sad to me that he didn't have a family, and I felt really bad for
It's in
him.
his song.
I know, but then the movie.
I'm the only one.
And she was,
That's how
my
it
mom
finishes.
was trying to tell me, like, it's okay because Pooh and them were his family. I was like, he doesn't have a family. And I was so sad, dude. And I've never watched it since then. I cannot.
The Tigger movie came out in the year 2000. Michelle was 7 years old.
Yeah,
going
7.
into
That makes
this-
sense.
Going into this film.
Hey, everybody. If you haven't watched it, Michelle just gave you the whole plot line.
He just doesn't have a
He
family.
ain't got no
okay?
family.
And he goes and he leaves. He runs away to try to find his family. It's really sad.
And does he find a family?
No, he doesn't. Because he's the only one.
There you go.
And then they all dress up like Tigger at the end. They put on costumes where they have stripes. And he's like, you guys are my family.
Do you like how I got the whole plot out of her just by that?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Thanks,
really
Michelle.
sad. It's really sad.
Who don't gotta watch it no more.
It's okay. Okay, because usually Luis does it. You remember that movie where all the stuff happens? Nope.
This thing and this thing.
But thanks for giving me all that, because now I don't gotta watch it.
Don't watch it. It's sad. You could watch the Heffalump movie. That one's cool.
Is it funny?
Yeah, it's funny. It's cute.
Wait, doesn't the Heffalump not have any family too?
Oh, God.
Well, yeah.
Oh, that's not as sad, huh?
It's not a tiger.
Heffalumps are allowed to not have families, but tigers are not.
Heffalumps aren't the only ones. There's other woozle
Tigers
schmoozles
are
to
the only
hang out
ones.
with.
I'm the only one.
I don't think I have any money information for this film.
I mean, did it
They
come
didn't
out
count
in the
money in the 70s?
theater? Because all of these were animated. They were just short. So I think they just put these three together to, like, make a movie.
Let's see. It came out.
Oh, so the other, like,
No. The movie.
the shorts were done before this.
No.
No.
Oh, excuse me. This is based on the
three
shorts.
stories.
Yeah.
Are three different separate Milne books, and then they turned those into three separate stories for this movie. But they did make the movie all in one go.
But I'm pretty sure you can.
Well,
Just Winnie the Pooh has a lot of short stories because we had like the video VHSs too,
Yes.
where it would be different stories of Winnie the Pooh, like
Oh,
not
yeah.
just these ones. It was like other stories too, So that's why I was like, I don't even know which ones are in the movie because I've seen so many of them. The Christmas one I grew up on a lot. We watched that one with Addie when she came over one day too. But yeah, this one is just three of the stories.
Yeah.
But there's a million Winnie the Pooh shorts.
There's the cartoon as well,
Yeah.
the show. But yeah, this movie came out in '77, but I don't have any box office information about it. Well, it had to because in 1977 there wasn't anything else. It was either the movies or you don't watch it.
And I was just gonna say, and you just talked about how much you watched it in the theater. No, that wasn't this movie.
No, that wasn't this one. Let me just check Box Office Mojo real quick.
Pooh Bear,
just to
I
see if
gotta
there's
be there.
anything.
What's
That's
that song
that's
from?
the cartoon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, which came out in the '90s, I believe,
I think I watched
or at least that one came out in the '90s.
Well, I mean, I must have if I know the song.
Yeah, I don't have any money information for this movie. That's unfortunate, but let's assume that it made some money. On Rotten Tomatoes, this film has one of the highest scores I've ever seen a movie have. This movie has a 100% on the tomato meter. Now, that's based on 17 reviews from the time, I believe.
17 reviews
But
gave it 100%.
100%. But the audience score is 88%. And that's based on 25,000 ratings from Rotten Tomatoes. The critics' consensus says, perhaps the most faithful of Disney's literary adaptations, this cute, charming collection of episodes captures the spirit of A.A. Milne's classic stories.
I will say that synopsis is spot on.
Yeah.
I don't know about 100%, but that written up, it can literally be my rating explanation.
I was
Do
trying...
you call that explanation our reasoning?
Yeah, your reasoning. I was trying to find some bad reviews for this movie just to see...
I would love to read
if
them.
there were any out there. And I looked all over the place, and I didn't really see any. The one that I found...
Was it about the DVD or something?
No, I found one on IMDb, but it's very long because this person reviews each of the stories, but they gave it 4 out of 10 stars. And they're basically just complaining the entire time that it's like short and why would these characters do any of this stuff and it doesn't make any sense. But it's too long. It's too long to read. I'm not gonna subject us all to that. So instead, let's rate it ourselves. Emily, what would you give the Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh?
I'm pretty down there with the audience score. I'm gonna give it like a B, solid B for me. I'll give it an 8. I thought it was pretty cute.
Yeah.
I know I've watched it a couple different times in my adulthood. My kids like it. I will definitely rewatch it. It holds the funnies.
Yeah.
Like I still giggle at the correct spot.
You should have seen me in here watching with Addie and Ollie. I was dying. I was laughing more than them for sure.
Well, and as an adult, it's actually more funny in some of the things because, like Michelle said, you see their tics,
Right.
And you're like, oh my god,
Oh my god.
hey, look, it's me. So I do really appreciate it, and I only don't give it higher because I think some of the characters are a tad annoying for me, but not because, I don't know, maybe that's just a personal problem.
Sure.
But I really like it.
Yeah.
I feel like I've given things 8s that I liked less than this. So maybe I'm not doing a very good job with my scores, but I solidly liked this movie.
Nice. 8 out of 10. Luis, what about you?
I think maybe about a 7.5.
7.5.
Yeah, like I said, it just kind of felt like a movie. The
sequence
pace of the
events.
movie was just slow
Sure.
and kind of idiotic.
It's all that slow honey.
It wasn't my cup of silliness, for sure.
For me, I think it was my cup of silliness. You know, the Winnie the Pooh characters, I think, are basically perfect, all of them. But especially Pooh himself, and like everything that dude says, and the way that he speaks is very funny to me, and very fun. I think I'm gonna give this movie an 8.5. It's right in that very funny zone where, like, if somebody was like, "Hey, I'm putting on the Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh. Do you have strong strong feelings about this?" I'm like, "Nah, put it on. I'm gonna watch the whole thing. You know, I will watch this anytime it's on, because that's how entertaining it is." And once again, I want to reiterate how good the music was. It was done by the Sherman Brothers, and I like all of the songs.
Shermans do some good
The
stuff.
Shermans, yeah,
anyways.
they're on top of it. But I really like the way that they the way that the music handles storytelling in the movie down here in the 100-Acre Wood.
Okay, so while we wait for Michelle, can I please read some of the 1 out of 10?
Oh, yes, you found some?
I did, and it's so long. I probably could go through the whole thing, but I'm not. And I
Okay.
feel like this is about something a little bit different, but it's really funny. The review is called Winnie the Pooper.
Oh no! I'm back, y'all.
It says, "What is a poo? It sounds like a stench. Why not Winnie the Bear? Isn't that what he is? I have a better idea. Why not call it Winnie the Crab?" This is a very... I'm sorry. This is so funny. It says, "This is a very stupid family film with the biggest brain dead characters.
Oh, my.
There are several subplots and none of them are good. First of all, we have the depressed donkey Eeyore who is in need of a tail and the quest to find a tail and achieve a jar of honey. Come on. Then we have Winnie's grumbling stomach that was no more near the grumbler that I was after seeing the film. Then we have boy owner...
Boy
owner.
Christopher Robin, who leaves a note claiming that he is gone and he will be back soon. Well, these idiot stuffed animals misread... Is this part of this movie? Misread the note and believe that their owner has been captured by a monster?
Maybe that's the reboot Winnie the Pooh, the
Oh,
2011
maybe.
one
I'm
or
sorry.
something.
This is so funny, though. I have to keep going.
That's hilarious.
They conjure up what they believe the creature looks like, which is a bull. They even dig a pit for it to fall into. Well, these moron stuffed animals end up falling into the pit.
I think there was a note.
No, that's not from this one.
I've seen this, though, so this sounds
Right.
familiar.
There's so many Winnie the
This is
Poohs.
from the story.
Well, what is even dumber is that Owl can't fly, so he can't. It doesn't dawn on him or anyone else to escape, for him to get out, escape, and get help. Well, the animation is the same as the classic cartoon. See, there you go. This is a reboot. The writing is kindergarten level intelligence. The cartoon from Disney delighted the imagination, and this horrid piece of junk insults anyone who watches it.
Oh my.
I like the 2011 one, but jeez.
Jeez Louise.
Did you guys already rate it?
Yes, we
Oh, I mean,
We're left
this-
with a film that is mauled by grizzly bears.
Oh my gosh.
I'm sorry.
I
that
mean,
had
Winnie
to
the
read it.
Pooh, this original one, that's like a 9 out of 10. Okay,
Nice.
it's so good. I love it. It's very nostalgic for me
Apparently
too.
We shouldn't watch the reboot,
Apparently
or we
not.
should. So
Well, I don't even know if maybe I've seen the reboot like once.
Yeah, I think I've seen
Because
it once.
I just watched the older ones, you know. Like the newest thing I had seen probably was the Heffalump movie.
Although we did watch the live action Christopher Robin.
Yeah, but that seems like in a thing of its own to me,
Correct.
the
kind
reason I
of.
haven't made it all the way through. I think we got to
It's rough.
we got to a point. I think of where he like goes back to the 100-Acre Wood, and we stopped because we were like depressed. We were like, well,
No, it
was
hits
kinda
hard. I
sad.
watched it on a plane and I was like, geez. And
Yeah,
then I
we
watched
watched it on a
Dumbo
plane.
right after this, the live action
Man.
Dumbo. I had
so you
messed
were
up.
getting the feels on feels,
Dude, it was awful. I was like, what did I get myself into?
Don't live action us like this.
Yeah.
I was trying to find out the origins of Winnie the Pooh, the actual name.
Like why he's called Pooh Bear?
Why he's called Pooh Bear. Do you know?
No, I don't think so.
No.
When I was reading the book, I was confused.
Oh, hey, yeah.
Did y'all hear
You really don't.
Siri
Siri
ring
don't
up?
know. Siri don't even know. So I just looked this up, and this is from the NewYorkZoo.org or something like that. It says fun facts about the real Winnie the Pooh and his friends. The curious name of Winnie the Pooh came from Christopher Robin, from a combination of the names of a real bear and a pet swan. During the 1920s, there was a black bear named Winnie in the London Zoo who had been the mascot for the Winnipeg Regiment of the Canadian Army. Pooh was the name of a swan in When We Were Very Young. So
It says, this is a different one. It says Pooh was named after a swan called Pooh that Milne had met on holiday.
Gotcha.
So he
I
was
read
just
that
like, it's
too.
Winnie the Pooh.
right.
So this dude meets a duck,
He
and
just-
all of a sudden, that's the name of his character. Like,
I mean, he was
what
pulling
is
stuff out of his
dude
life.
smoking?
But once again, it's for his
Originally,
son.
Winnie the Pooh was called Edward Bear.
Oh yeah,
Like a teddy bear.
That's what I'm saying. That's what the bear's name is in the book.
Edward
Right.
Bear.
Yeah.
Yes.
And he gets bumped on the head a lot because Christopher Robin like bumps him down the stairs and then bumps him back up the stairs,
okay.
and so Edward Bear.
Edward Bear
gets
became Winnie the Pooh because Winnie was
effed.
the bear at the zoo and Pooh was the swan. I don't know how he got.
Why was the swan called Pooh?
Why did we involve the swan at all? Why did we do that? But
So he just named it after a black bear he saw in the zoo, and it was in Winnipeg, so he called it Winnie. And then he met a swan named Pooh, and he was like, it's Winnie the Pooh. So
What the, where's he?
One
Is
day-
he putting up ads on like the newspaper, like man seeking swan, or like wants to just be friends? Like what's going on?
I don't know. He met a swan.
Oh my gosh, meta
He
swan.
met a swan.
Like hi, my name is
Yeah, I was-
A.L.L. Mills.
I was at the coffee shop the other day and there was a swan there.
this is what he said.
Swan
He
was named
said,
Pooh.
he said,
So a writer, a bear, and a swan walk into a bar.
he said he
Come
told
on.
Christopher Robin he had given the name Pooh. It's a very not fine name for a swan because if you call him and he doesn't come, which is the thing most swans are good at, you can pretend that you were just saying Pooh to show how little you wanted him.
Okay, all
So
right.
you're playing hard to get with a swan.
Yeah, he's being very silly with
What
the
is
swan.
going on?
Nobody has pet swans nowadays, so I don't really know how swans act, but
What is going
Pooh.
on with
that
these
that Pooh is
swans?
not coming.
he does. That's how Winnie the Pooh was born, okay?
I see.
I mean, I've never questioned why it's not like Winnie the Bear or anything, because I never really thought about it, because
Yeah.
it's just, that's what he is. He's Winnie the Pooh.
Winnie the
I don't
Pooh.
know.
Yeah,
Ay, Dios mío.
they've really made it like a household
He's
name.
a Pooh Bear.
I literally was called Emmy Pooh for like
For a minute.
my whole
Yeah,
life.
it's like a
when I was
thing.
young. And I got so mad when I
Yeah.
got to a certain age. I was like, "Excuse you," and they're like, "No, like Pooh Bear."
Right.
Yeah.
Somebody was writing it on things.
Yeah.
And then I realized that they meant like Pooh Bear, and I was
Right.
like, "All right, fine."
Yeah, that's like, and I feel like people, like some couples will call each other Pooh Bear and stuff. Like it's like a nickname, you know?
I called you that too.
No.
All of a sudden I did it.
Don't start.
Yeah, you start calling, hello Pooh Bear, my little Pooh Bear.
Okay, I'll start calling you Piglet. How do you feel about that?
Okay, fine.
I don't know. I don't think much about it is in terms of poo, like crap and poop. Like I don't literally. So the fact that the guy was going off on a tangent about you might as well call him Winnie the Crap, like that's not what I was thinking at all.
I'm sorry. I thought that was so funny.
Winnie the Pooh.
It just seems like an endearing thing. Like,
I think
it's
it's
a Pooh
funny
Bear.
when people get so mad and so hung up on things like
Oh, yeah.
that. Like,
Dude, it's a
Alright.
cartoon.
Right.
Why does anything
It's a
have a
children's
name in a
cartoon.
cartoon? Like,
idiotic.
I'm really excited because Andre and I are going to Disneyland in a month, and I have a Winnie the Pooh outfit. I bought like a sweater and ears and stuff, and so I'm really excited to.
And she's gonna wear nude
And-
leggings
Oh,
so that
yeah.
No, I'm not gonna wear nude
so that
leggings.
she's
Pooing it up.
so that she's Donald Duck and Pooh at the same time.
Oh, I'm gonna
Shirt
wear.
and no pants.
I'm gonna wear red leggings, babe. I swear, if you buy me nude leggings, I'm not gonna wear them. But
Please do.
just me and my Pooh Bear baby up in here.
Up,
Eating
down,
lots of
touch
food.
the ground.
Push
in the
me in
mood
the
for
food.
Puts me in the food.
Put in the food.
That might be a,
Put me in the food
a
too.
hint that we need to stop. Oh wait, I have an email to read.
Oh, I love when he does that.
That's his computing noise.
Computing.
Computing. Where did my email go? Here we go. So this email
On the
was
swan thing.
this email was sent to us by Vince. Vince is talking about episode 134, which was Anastasia.
Thank you
Okay.
for reminding us, because
I'm like, what number?
Vince says, I'm making my way through the past episodes.
Making my way through the past.
Michelle specifically requested that someone sends an email saying, do it, like Palpatine.
Yes!
Related note.
Oh, geez, that's awesome.
I love
It
it.
took that long.
Yeah, it took a while. Related note, me and some of my friends have been saying that for heckin' years. Still funny to us.
Do it.
And
I
then
did
he
it
sent
yesterday.
a gif of the Emperor saying,
Yes. Do it. How many times a day
Thank you.
Andre and I say that? It's hilarious.
I said it yesterday to Luis, and I giggled to myself.
like when I tell kids at work, like, just do it. And they'll be like, do it. And they're probably like, whoa, teacher Michelle's crazy.
So thank you very much, Vince.
Thanks,
Thanks,
for that. That
Vince.
was very
we-
fun.
That made my day. I love it.
He only has to listen to 30 more episodes
Yeah, and then it'll-
to hear us give him that extra shout
Exactly.
out.
Yeah, and
I'll
every
let 'em
time
know.
somebody emails about me, I'm like, oh no, what are they gonna say? I know I'm a lot to handle. I have a bit of a crazy side. Yeah, do it. Do it. Do it.
Hey, if they're on episode 130, they know about you.
Yeah, that's true.
They know about your water affinity.
Now they know about my Tigger affinity.
They know who's going to be in the car with you.
Sebastian, baby.
And if anyone's crazy, it's Andres.
Yeah. Honestly, you had the worst car. I would not hop in that car.
He's like, you ain't never had a friend like me, and the Rafiki smacks him with a stick.
Who was the third person?
His fairy godmother.
Oh, they all have sticks.
They all
She
sound
in there
awful.
turning my car
Yeah,
into a
do
pumpkin and whatnot, you know?
You know what? Since the crab is so tiny, I feel like I can fit a fifth person in this car, and I'll
That's
take
true.
I'll take Raya from Raya and the Last Dragon. I don't know why.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
She sounds
should have
cool.
taken Amari, Princess Undercut.
Oh,
Princess
yeah.
Undercut.
Princess Undercut.
No, I like Raya. I would take her. She's cool. Or Moana. Nah, Moana. Yeah, she likes water too.
Good lord.
All right, you guys.
Sisu, she also is a strong swimmer.
Oh yeah, but Sisu. Well, yeah, she probably.
Just get Maui in there. He'll turn into all
Maui
kinds
won't
of stuff.
fit. He won't fit.
Maui won't fit. Baymax fits in Luis's car.
I don't know how, but he does.
He deflated him a little bit, but you know you can deflate Baymax a little bit. Remember?
Where are you gonna plug him in to charge?
Do we know what we're
I don't
doing
know,
next?
There's a USB charger.
Yeah.
Yes, we do know what
Oh,
we're doing next.
we do?
Yes.
We just
Oh
did it.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Timey-wimey stuff, remember? So, next
We're
week.
very confused.
Yes.
Still.
Yeah, you're confused. Well, hopefully you're not confused, but we are confused. Next week, we are going to be talking about the newish Disney Plus original series, Hawkeye.
It's still new. It only came out like 2 months ago.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So we talk about all 6 episodes. It's spoiler heavy, and you'll listen to it when you listen to it. Hey, if you're a member of the Patreon, that's patreon.com/the Walt Vault. We will actually be dropping this episode early for you. So if you want this episode early, go ahead and sign up for only $1, and you'll get the Hawkeye episode coming to you sooner than normal. For all of our other stuff, you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We are at the Walt Vault Pod. Go there. Let us know what you thought of the many adventures of Winnie the Pooh, and also which characters you want to take with you on a 6-hour road trip in your small car. It's not
Basically,
it's not a
us
big
driving
car.
to Disneyland
Yes,
from
yes,
where
yes.
we're located. So.
Exactly. Make sure you.
Which let me tell you, it's way too long for all of these characters.
Oh yeah, so this is a while. This is a while. I'm gonna have to turn on some music.
Last time we listened to Hamilton, and it took us half the drive because it's 2.5 hours. So it was great. I was like,
that's true.
all right.
You can keep up with us on social media. As I said, you can also send an email like Vince did to contact@thewaltvaultpod.com. We'll read that message on the show. Go to Patreon, get your Hawkeye episode a week early. Make sure you rate and review us on all podcast platforms. That's Spotify, iTunes, Stitcher, TuneIn, all of them places. Get your podcasts and get the Walt Vault in your ears and more ears out there. All right, you guys, that has been it for this week. We will see you next time for some Hawkeye goodness. The vault is now closed.
I love.